The stars above Camp Orion shone like tiny lights in the dark sky. It was quiet, peaceful, and come something rare after months of tension between humans and the alien race called the Valerie. Liam, a young human soldier, sat with his team around the fire. Across from him sat the alien warrior, Alira. She was tall, graceful, and had silver blue skin that shimmered under the moonlight. Her eyes, deep and glowing, never blinked much. She was always serious. Serious, Liam liked to joke. It helped him deal with fear, pressure, and boredom. So tonight, as they shared food and stories, he decided to lighten the mood. "If she ever proposed to me," Liam said, pointing at Alira with a grin, "I'd say yes without thinking." The soldiers laughed. Some nudged him. Even the translator. Bot buzzed with a giggle. But Alira didn't laugh. She didn't smile. She stared directly into Liam's eyes. No blink, no movement. Just silence. The laughter stopped. The fire crackled. Liam felt a chill run down his spine. Her gaze wasn't angry, but it wasn't friendly either. It was deep, unreadable, and strangely intense. "Shh, just a joke," Liam said, nervously scratching his head. Still no reaction. Alira stood up slowly, her eyes still locked on his dot. Then she walked away, disappearing into the shadows of the camp. Everyone looked at Liam. What the hell was that? One soldier whispered. "I don't know," Liam replied, his heart beating faster. "I think I messed up." That night, Liam couldn't sleep. He kept remembering her stare. It wasn't normal. It felt like something ancient, powerful, like he had opened a door he shouldn't have. Hours later, when the camp was asleep, he felt something warm on his hand. He looked down and froze. A glowing mark had appeared on his skin. A soft blue symbol, shaped like a spiral star. "What is this?" he whispered. Suddenly, a soft voice spoke behind him. "You accepted." Liam jumped and turned. It was Alira. She stood calmly in the doorway of his tent. Her voice was calm but firm. "You accepted the sacred bond, the proposal." Liam stared at her in shock. I was joking. I didn't mean it." "Are no jokes in the sacred tongue," she said. "The bond has been activated. It cannot be undone." "This is insane," Liam whispered. "It was just a comment. I didn't agree to anything." Alira stepped forward. Her glowing eyes were softer now, but serious. "Among my people, words have power. You spoke the vow in front of witnesses, under the stars. The bond is real now. We are connected." Liam backed away, his heart racing. Connected. What does that mean? Lyra raised her hand, showing him the same glowing mark on her wrist. "Our minds will begin to link. You may feel my thoughts. I may feel yours. We share fate now." No. This can't be happening. "This is a dream," Liam muttered. "It is not a dream," she said calmly. "It is the beginning." Then she turned and walked out of the tent, leaving Liam shaking, confused, and afraid. The next morning, Liam tried to act normal, but something had to change. He could sense things. He could feel someone watching him even. When he couldn't see them, he started hearing whispers, not from outside, but inside his mind. Soft words, in a language he didn't know. And every time he looked at Alira, she was already looking at him. The mark on his hand grew brighter. He didn't know what was happening to him, but deep down felt it started the moment he joked. Something ancient and very real. Liam couldn't stop thinking about what Alira said the night before. "You accepted the sacred bond." He kept telling himself it was a misunderstanding, a cultural mistake, but the mark on his hand said otherwise. It didn't fade. It glowed gently, even in daylight, and sometimes it pulsed like a second heartbeat. He sat alone near the camp's edge, rubbing his hand again and again. Nearby, soldiers trained with alien Valerie warriors. laughing and shouting. But Liam didn't feel like laughing. He felt like something inside him was changing and he didn't understand it. Still confused, a voice said behind him. Liam turned. It was Elira, calm, steady, unreadable, as always. She sat beside him without waiting for permission. You said it was a bond, Liam said quietly, but I never meant it. In your world, she replied, words can be empty. In mine, they live. Liam looked at her. But I didn't know your rules. That's not fair. Elira nodded slowly. I agree. It's not fair, but it is final. He sighed. So, what happens now? Our thoughts will slowly begin to merge. You may feel emotions that aren't yours. You may know things you didn't learn. The connection is deep. That sounds terrifying. It is, she said, but it is also powerful. Liam stood up, frustrated. What if? I don't want this bond. Elira stood too. Her eyes were softer now. If you break it, it'll damage both of us. But worse, my people will see it as rejection, dishonor. War may follow. Liam froze. War? Over a misunderstanding. It won't matter to the elders. The ritual was completed. In their eyes, we are already joined. Breaking it is like spitting on our history. Liam shook his head. This can't be real. Suddenly, he felt dizzy. His knees buckled. He grabbed a tree for balance. Flashes filled his mind, images he'd never seen. A young Velari child, Elira in battle. Stars he didn't recognize. What is this? He gasped. The bond is beginning, Elira said, stepping closer. Your mind is opening. To mine? He looked up at her. How are you so calm? I've trained for this since birth, she said. You haven't. That's why it hurts. Liam sat down again, breathing hard. This wasn't just a mistake anymore. It was real. He could feel her thoughts brushing against his, not words, but feelings, echoes, memories. Suddenly, Elira knelt beside him and touched his shoulder. I will guide you, she said, if you let me. Liam didn't know what to say. He felt fear, confusion, but also something else, a strange warmth in his chest, like she was already a part of him. Okay, he whispered, help me. That night, she began teaching him. He sat under the stars, far from the others. She placed her hand on the glowing mark and closed her eyes. Breathe, she said. Liam followed her voice. Slowly, the pain in his head faded. He began to see her memories more clearly, her training, her childhood, her people. I never wanted this either, she admitted, but the bond chose us. Is that normal? He asked. No, the bond hasn't chosen anyone in over 100 years. Liam's eyes widened. Then why now? I don't know, she said. But something is coming. Something dark. And maybe this bond is part of the answer. Suddenly, Liam heard footsteps behind them. 3 human soldiers appeared, weapons in hand. Liam, one of them said, Command wants to see you. Now? Why? He asked. You're not acting normal. They think you might be compromised. Liam looked at Elira. She stood, slowly, protective. He's fine, she said, calmly. This isn't your call. The soldier snapped. Liam stood too, his heart pounding. I'm fine. I just need more time. You're coming with us, now. The moment grew tense. Hands moved to weapons. Elira's eyes began to glow. Enough, Liam said, stepping forward. I'll go. No trouble. As he walked away with. Damn. He felt the bond pulling like a rope in his chest. He looked back at Elira. She didn't move. She just said one thing, soft and clear. Don't let them break you. Liam sat alone in the cold metal room. No windows, no sunlight, silence and 4 walls. He had been locked up by his own people. The human commanders believed he was under alien control. They said the glowing mark on his hand was dangerous. They didn't trust him anymore. He told them it was a misunderstanding, that he was still the same person. But they didn't listen. Now he was being treated like a threat, like a weapon gone wrong. He touched the glowing spiral on his skin. It pulsed slowly like a heartbeat that wasn't his. He could still feel Alira. Her presence was soft in his mind, like a distant whisper. Suddenly, the door opened. A man in uniforms stepped inside Commander Graves. Cold eyes, tight lips. "We ran tests. You're not infected," Graves said. "But you're not clean either." "What does that mean?" Liam asked. "It means we don't know what you are anymore." Liam stood. "I'm human, maybe," Graves said. "But you're bonded to one of them. That makes you unpredictable. I didn't choose this." "It doesn't matter." Liam's fists clenched. "You can't just lock me up like a criminal." Graves stepped closer. "You're lucky we haven't sent you back to Earth for full containment. But that might change." Then he left, and the door slammed shut again. Liam sat back down, heart heavy. In the silence, he suddenly heard a voice inside his head. "Liam, I'm coming." It was Alira. He jumped up. "Where are you?" "Close. I can't let them keep you." Moments later, alarms began to ring through the base. Red lights flashed. Footsteps echoed in the halls. Soldiers shouted orders, and then smoke filled the hallway outside Liam's room. The door blasted open. Alira stood there, holding a strange alien device, glowing blue. "You said you would guide me," Liam said. She nodded. "Now I protect you." They ran through the halls, dodging soldiers and security drones. Lyra moved like lightning, using alien tech to block doors and disable cameras. Liam followed her, heart racing. He never thought he would be running from his own people. "Where are we going?" he shouted. "There's a valorized scout ship hidden outside the base," she replied. "We'll be safe there, but if we run, they'll think I've turned against them." "They already think that," she said. "Now you must choose to stay here and be their prisoner, or come with me and find the truth." They reached the outer fence. Kesk drones hovered in the sky. Alira lifted a small orb. Kesk created a blinding flash. The drones dropped like flies. They ran into the forest. Behind them, alarms grew louder. Soldiers were chasing. "We won't make it," Liam said, breathing hard. "You will?" Alira said. "I'll hold them off." "No," Liam said. "I'm not leaving you behind." She looked at him, surprised. "You're part of me now," he said. "And I don't leave my people behind, okay?" They reached the scout ship hidden beneath thick alien leaves. It looked like a silver bird, smooth and quiet. As the door opened, soldiers appeared behind them, guns raised. "Stop. Don't move," one of them shouted. Liam turned and stepped in front of Alira. "If you shoot her, you shoot me." The soldiers hesitated. Then a voice crackled on their radios. "Do not fire. Repeat, do not fire. We need him alive." Liam and Alira entered the ship and took off. The engines were silent as they disappeared into the night sky. Inside the ship, Liam finally sat down. He was shaking. "I'm now hunted by my own people," he said quietly. Alira sat beside him. "You are not alone." Their bond pulsed against, stronger than ever. "What happens now?" Liam asked. "We find the truth," Alira said. "About the bond, about the prophecy, about why we were chosen." Liam looked at the stars ahead. He didn't know what was coming next, but one thing was clear. There was no going back. The Valerie scout ship flew through deep space, quiet and cold. Liam sat near the window, staring at the stars. His mind was full of questions no one had answered yet. Alira stood at the control panel. Her silver blue skin glowed softly in the dim light. She didn't speak much since they escaped, but Liam knew something was bothering her. Finally, he asked, "Where are we going?" Alira looked back at him. "To a forgotten place. My people call it Kareth's silence. It holds the answers. Answers to what? Liam asked. To the bond. To the prophecy. To the reason why you were chosen. Liam leaned forward. What prophecy? Lyra sighed. Long ago, our ancestors told of a time when a human and a Valerie would form a sacred bond, not just for love, but for survival. This bond would awaken powers that could save both species or destroy them. Liam's heart beat faster. And you think that's us? Alira nodded. The signs match. The bond hasn't appeared in over 100 years. Not until you spoke those words. He rubbed the mark on his hand. It was brighter now, almost alive. But I didn't mean to. It doesn't matter, Alira interrupted gently. The bond doesn't listen to words. It listens to fate. Hours later, they landed on a dark, rocky moon surrounded by thick clouds. Kareth's silence was quiet, too quiet. The place felt heavy, as if the air carried old memories. They entered a stone temple, half buried in the ground. The walls were covered in ancient symbols. Lyra moved carefully, her fingers tracing the carvings. This place is older than my people, she said, built by the first Valari. Tia, they believed this temple guarded the truth. Okay. They reached a chamber with a glowing sphere in the center. Alira touched it. The walls came alive with light images, appeared like holograms. Liam saw a young Valari warrior standing next to a human. They were bonded. Just like him and Alira. They were the first, Alira whispered. He was called Yolan. She was Ira. They were leaders and lovers. What happened to them? Liam asked. They were betrayed. Their own people feared their power, thought they were dangerous. The images changed, showing battles, broken trust, war. In the end, Alira said, Yolan was killed. And Ira. She destroyed everything to protect his memory. Liam felt a chill. So you brought me here to show me we're doomed. No, she said. To show you how dangerous the bond can be. We don't understand it. He turned away, overwhelmed. I didn't ask for any of this, Liam said. I was just a soldier. I wanted to finish my mission and go home. And now? Lyra asked. He looked at her. Now, I don't even know who I am anymore. Alira stepped closer. You are still you, but the bond is a part of you now, a part of both of us. Suddenly, the temple shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. What was that? Liam asked. Alira's eyes narrowed. We're not alone. They rushed out of the chamber. Outside, a black ship had landed near theirs. Liam grabbed a scanner. Not humans, not Valari. Alira's face darkened. Shadow Watchers. Who are they? A secret group from both sides. They feared the bond. They want it destroyed. 3 tall, shadowy figures appeared from the fog. Their suits were black, their faces hidden. One of them spoke. You broke the line, Alira. You crossed a law older than time. I followed the bond, she replied. You brought the prophecy to life, the figure said. Now, we must end it. Liam stepped in front of Alira. You'll have to go through me first. The figure laughed. That can be arranged. Suddenly, a blast of energy shot toward Liam. But something strange happened. The mark on his hand glowed. Its bright blue and a shield of light appeared around him, stopping the blast. Even Alira was shocked. The bond. It's awakening. Liam looked at his hand, glowing with power. What is this? It's the start, Alira said. Of everything, the enemies stepped back, surprised. But they weren't done yet. Alira grabbed Liam's hand. We must go, now. They ran back to their ship, dodging more attacks. The scout ship rose quickly into the sky, leaving Kareth's silence behind. Inside, Liam sat down, still shaking. I'm not just a soldier anymore, am I, Ali? He asked. Alira sat beside him. No, you are something more now, something stronger. Liam looked out at the stars. For the first time, He wasn't afraid. He was ready. Liam stood in the center of the ship, staring at his glowing hand. The mark was no longer just a symbol, it was alive. Blue light moved through his veins like fire. His heart beat faster, but it didn't feel like fear. It felt like power. Alira watched him closely. "The bond has awakened your strength," she said. "It's happening faster than I expected." Liam looked up. "Dead or bad depends on how you use it," she replied. They had just escaped from the shadow. Watchers, a secret group that wanted the bond destroyed. Now, Liam and Alira were flying to a hidden moon called Marin's Reach, a place where old Valari tech was stored. Alira believed they could find a device there that would help Liam control his new power. The ship entered the moon's orbit. From space, Marin's Reach looked lifeless, but underneath the surface, ancient machines still hummed. As they landed, Liam's head started to spin. He saw Flash's visions again. This time, they weren't memories. They were warnings, fire, shadows, a voice whispering, "You are not ready." He shook his head and blinked. Alira was already walking toward a large metal door. "This way," she said. They entered a dark hallway. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the walls. Alira touched one, and a hidden room opened. Inside was a large chamber filled with floating orbs, glowing panels, and one tall device in the center. "This is the heart of Corin," she said. "It reads the energy of the bonded." Liam stepped forward. The machine responded to him. Immediately lights flared, and energy flowed around him in rings. Suddenly, his body lifted off the floor. His eyes turned bright blue. The mark on his hand expanded across his arm. "Liam," Alira shouted, "Stay calm. It's scanning you." But Liam couldn't speak. His mind was flooded with images again. He saw humans and Valari fighting side by side, then turning against each other. He saw Alira crying in the rain. He saw a dark figure standing over a broken world, and then he saw himself standing alone, glowing with power, destroying everything. "No," he shouted. The machine dropped him to the floor, cast for air, shaking with fear. Alira ran to him. "What did you see?" "I'm not sure," he said, "but I think I saw the future." She looked worried. "What kind of future?" "One where I lose control," he whispered. "Where I become something terrible." Alira held his face gently. "You are not a weapon, Liam. You are a person. You have a choice. But what if I choose wrong? Then I will choose with you," she said softly. Suddenly, alarms rang through the chamber. The walls turned red. A voice echoed through the base. "Unauthorized energy detected. Defense protocol active." "I think the machine thinks I'm a threat," Liam said, stepping back. Robot guardians rose from the floor, tall, metal beings with glowing eyes. They aimed their weapons. "We need to leave," Alira said. "No," Liam said. "Let me try something." He stepped forward, raised his hand, and focused. The glowing mark on his hand shined brighter. The robots paused, scanning him. Then they knelt. "They're listening to you," Alira said in shock. Liam looked at his hand. "I didn't command them. I just felt them, like they were waiting for me." "You didn't just bond with me," Alira said. "You bonded with something greater, something ancient." Liam suddenly felt everything: power, connection, fear, and purpose. But at that moment, a message came through the ship's communicator. "This is Commander Graves. Liam, we know where you are. Surrender, or we will take you by force." Liam's heart dropped. "They found us. They'll destroy this place if they think it's dangerous," Alira said. Liam looked at the machine, the kneeling robots, the energy pulsing through his body. "No," he said. "I'm not running anymore." He walked toward the communicator and activated it. This is Liam. I'm not your prisoner. I'm not your enemy. But if you attack us, you'll force me to become something I don't want to be. Silence followed. Then Graves replied, then you leave us no choice. Outside, ships began to land. Soldiers prepared for battle. Alira looked at Liam. What now? Liam clenched his fist. Now, I protect the future. Red warning lights flashed across the sky of Mirren's Reach as human dropships landed on the rocky surface. The ground shook. Liam and Alira stood inside the ancient chamber. Watching the enemy arrive, they came fast, Liam said, clenching his glowing hand. They fear you now, Alira replied. They think you've turned into a weapon. Liam looked down. Maybe I have. No, she said firmly. You are still human. Still you. You haven't hurt anyone. But if they attack, I might have to. Outside, rows of human soldiers moved through the dark terrain. Commander Graves walked in front, helmet off, eyes sharp. He held a loudspeaker. Liam, this is your last warning. Surrender peacefully, or we will open fire. Liam stepped outside the temple with Alira by his side. The wind blew around them. The soldiers raised their weapons. I don't want to fight, Liam shouted, but I won't let you hurt her. I won't let you erase what I've become. Here. A threat, Graves replied. That mark, that power. We don't understand it. And what we don't understand, we stop. That's fear talking, Liam said. And fear starts wars. Suddenly, a loud hum filled the air. From behind the temple, strange alien machines left by the ancients rose up. They had sensed danger and activated automatically. Graves saw them and gave the order. Fire, explosions lit up the sky. The battle had begun. Alira pulled Liam back inside. You can't fight them all. I'm not going to fight them, Liam said. I'm going to stop the war. How? T walked into the heart of the ancient temple. The machines inside responded to his presence. Lights glowed. Symbols floated in the air. Liam placed his hand on the center panel. The mark on his skin flared. A wave of blue energy rushed out like a storm, covering the land. Everyone outside froze. Soldiers, alien machines, even Alira stopped and stared. What is this? Alira whispered. I connected with the planet, Liam said, eyes glowing. With the machines, with the bond. Outside, soldiers dropped their weapons. Not by force, but by peace. They felt something, warmth, understanding, emotions not their own. Liam's energy was spreading through the battlefield. Everyone could feel his fear, his hope, his heart. Commander Graves staggered. What's happening to me? Liam's voice echoed across the valley, deep and calm. You're feeling what I feel. You're seeing what I see. This is what the bond does. It connects. It doesn't destroy. For a moment, there was silence. But then, a blast came from the sky. Something neither human nor Valari. A dark ship arrived, sleek, quiet, deadly. It wasn't from Earth. It wasn't from Alira's world. The real enemy, Alira said. They feared this bond. They've been hiding, waiting. Black armored figures descended from the ship. Shadow Watchers. But these were different. Not spy soldiers. They want to erase the bond from history, Alira said. They want to kill us both. Liam stepped forward. Not today. The alien machines that once guarded the temple now surrounded Liam. His connection to them was complete. He didn't control them. They followed him willingly. The Shadow Watchers fired. Liam raised his hand, and a wall of energy blocked the attack. He stepped through the shield, his body glowing brighter than ever. The battle was fast and brutal, but Liam wasn't fighting with hate. He was defending. Alira moved beside him, fighting with grace and speed. The human soldiers, seeing the truth, turned their weapons against the real enemy, the Dark Ones, who came to silence peace together. Tagas, humans, and Valari pushed the attackers back. One by one, the Shadow Watchers fell. The dark ship tried to flee, but the ancient machines pulled it down with force and crushed it into the ground. The war ended in minutes. Smoke filled the air. Bodies lay still, but the bond was still alive. That Commander Graves stepped forward, holding up both hands. "I was wrong," he said. "You're not the enemy, Liam. You're the bridge." Liam nodded. War almost started because of fear. "We can't let that happen again." Alira stood beside him. "The bond saved us all." The glowing mark on Liam's hand slowly faded, but the connection remained. For the first time, humans and Valerie stood together not as allies by treaty, but as one people, bound by something far deeper: peace. The battle was over. Smoke drifted over the broken battlefield of Mirren's Reach, but this time it wasn't the smell of defeat, it was the scent of something new. Hope. Liam stood in the center of the ancient temple, surrounded by humans, Vylari, and the now silent machines of the past. He looked around and saw a face, sired, shocked, but peaceful. For the first time, both sides had fought together, not because they had to, but because they chose to. Alira walked beside him. Her silver blue skin was marked with dust, her armor scratched, but her eyes were bright. "You did it?" she said softly. "No," Liam replied. "We did it." The glowing mark on his hand had faded now, but something deeper had taken its place. The bond still lived in it, just between him and Alira, but between two entire worlds. Commander Graves approached, this time without any weapon. He looked at Liam for a moment and then said, "I judged you too quickly. I thought power was always dangerous, but you showed us what it can become when used with heart." Liam nodded. The real danger wasn't the bond, it was fear. Fear almost destroyed everything. Alira turned toward the center of the temple where the heart of Corrin still glowed softly. "There is one last step," she said. "A final message we haven't seen yet." She reached forward and placed her hand on the panel. Liam did the same. Together, their energy awakened to the temple one final time. Light filled the room. The walls shimmered. Symbols turned into images. A figure appeared, an ancient Valar elder, and, beside him, a human, Kaeg. Both stood hand in hand. The elder spoke in a calm voice. "If you are seeing this, then the sacred bond has returned. We were once one, divided by fear, united by fate. The bond is not just love, it is balance, it is strength, and above all, it is choice." The image faded, and silence followed. Alira looked at Liam. It was never about control or power. It was about harmony. Liam stepped back, thinking about everything. The moment he joked about marriage, the stare Alira gave him, the mark that changed his life, the running, the fear, the war, and now this. "Maybe the bond chose us," he said, "but we had to choose each other too." Alira nodded. "And we did." Just then, the ancient machines slowly lowered into the ground. The temple began to dim. Its mission was complete. Outside, humans and Valari shared supplies, treated the wounded, and even laughed. A new beginning had started. Later that night, to the same stars where it all began, Liam stood quietly near the campfire. Alira walked toward him, her steps light and graceful. She stopped in front of him, holding something in her hand, a small crystal, glowing faintly. "What's that?" Liam asked. "A gift," she said, "from my people." She knelt down slowly. Liam froze. "Wait, are you?" "I am," she said with a smile. This time, not because of duty, but by choice. Liam stared at her. He remembered his joke. I'd say yes if she proposed. And now, here she was. No blinking, no games, just the truth. Liam smiled. He knelt down too. I already said yes, he whispered. The crystal between their hands lit up. The bond flared not just with power, but with peace. They weren't just bonded by fate now. They were bonded by love, by understanding. From above, the stars watched quietly, and across two worlds, stories would be told of the human who joked and changed everything.